So we have a buoyancy problem here where we have a submarine that's trying to stay submerged, and for that to be true, it has to be neutrally buoyant, meaning that its weight and its buoyant force have to be equal and opposite, essentially. So we're given some information about a submarine that we want to test here. So I've set up a diagram here. We have very poorly drawn water, submarine below that, and then a force of buoyancy force, FB, going upward, and the force of gravity going downward, which is sometimes called weight. These would be the only two Y forces acting on the submarine going up and down. Now the buoyant force formula, I'm going to go over here to just direct your attention to that. The buoyant force is equal to the density of the fluid being displaced. So in this case, that rho is the density of water, not of the actual submarine. The volume that is displaced, which is the volume of water displaced, but because that object has been put into the water and thus pushes all the other water, the submarine goes into the water and pushes the water out of the way, the amount of water that's displaced is the same as the volume of the submarine. So V is both the displaced volume of the water and the volume of the submarine. And then G is our standard unit of gravity here. So what we'll see here, if these are the only two forces acting, then we can say FB equals FG. Or if you want to set it up slightly differently, you could say FB minus FG is 0. That's the sum of forces in the y direction, but if they're the only two, then that works in general. Then we can sub in what we know these are. So we have rho F times V, which is the same in both cases, volume of the submarine and the water displaced. And then we have mg. So as you can see, we can cancel G. And what we find then is that M, switching the order here a little bit, is equal to the density times the volume. Okay. Now, if you look at the actual equation here, or the actual question, I should say, it wants to know how much it weighs to stay submerged. So this mass is the weight mass, essentially. Once we have that mass, we can say weight is equal to mg is equivalent to force of gravity. So once you have m, you can just multiply it by 9.8 and you'll get your answer. The question is, do we know rho and do we know v? Well, rho is the 1,000 kilograms per meter cubed because that is the density of water. Kilogram per meter cubed. And the enclosed volume V in cubic meters, which means we're using standard SI, so that's good. (981.157 meters cubed). So multiply those together, you'll get a mass. That mass will be in kilograms because this is kilograms per meter cubed and this is meter cubed. Once you have that mass in kilograms, multiply it by G, you have your weight. Hope that helps.